Hey. Howdy and good morning. It's morning time, and actually it's quite bright today, but it's Monday morning. It's been a while, so hope everybody's been well. And let me just do some checks. I haven't actually checked to see that my the volume is up. I'm not sure whether it's too up, and then you got to turn it down. But it's good to be back. I'm still here, and what I thought I would do is basically do a recap, because for the last 21 days, I've been doing a few things. Aside from this 21-day diabetes challenge, halfway doing another challenge for the Tokelau Fitness group that's on Facebook, and there's a health group. It's a good group too. So I'm halfway doing a 8-week challenge there, where it's just posting daily or as many times as you like, the exercises that you're doing every day, which for me, exercise is routine that I do every day, and just the dinners or the lunch or the whatever you're actually eating, which is healthy. So I've been doing that. So that's actually been a lot of fun. And I'm actually quite glad. It's interesting because I look forward to doing challenges, and then of course when I'm actually doing them, they're actually really good. But I also like it when they end too, because then it's like, one, you've completed a challenge, and two, it's sort of like you can reflect back as to how it actually all went, and you can look forward to maybe taking a bit of a break and doing something else and things. And I know on the business front, because that's on the health front, on the business front, I'm also doing, well, it's not quite a challenge. It's sort of like it was a challenge posted out for us to actually sort of do, but there wasn't like this sort of strict everyday check-in type of course. But I do have to actually post regularly on another group that I'm in, and it all has to do with the internet business, online marketing, and everything else. So that's all good. And aside from that, I am doing the certificate in nutrition. This is one of the recognized courses in Australia by a registered training organization, and I am behind in that one. But we're doing the anatomy. Well, I basically just finished the first part of the second module yesterday. So I spent some time doing it yesterday, and we're looking at the anatomy and physiology. And that's actually quite fascinating doing that. But man, that is really like going into it, because if I'm actually going to be a recognized nutritionist, obviously in Australia, and I do work within a scope of practice, which basically means I can't actually provide nutritional plans and be insured by that for clients to people who have got chronic diseases and things like that. So they have to actually meet a certain criteria of it. But that's okay, because if you are actually in that boat, obviously I won't be in my capacity as a nutritionist, but I'll be talking to you as somebody who's actually been down that path of being pre-diabetic and being overweight, technically obese, and did something in the way of making a lifestyle change in what I ate, in the movement that I do, in order to actually improve my health. So there's no problem with me actually sharing my story of how people could actually do that, so they could go back to a sort of more healthier state, and then you fall within my scope of practice and things. So, but of course I can actually work with a health professional on that, which will be part of that sort of thing that I get into when I probably get a bit further into the coaching side of things, and then work alongside a health professional to sort of help their patients or their clients. So all good things. All right. So what I want to do is recap the 21 days of the Diabetes Challenge. Now, if you can remember, way back 3 weeks, I had put a post on my healthy page, on my Eat Healthy Fight Diabetes page on Facebook and on the group page, asking for volunteers. If what people wanted to actually do this challenge, it is a paid course by a recognized health organization in New Zealand, but they're also recognized in Canada, UK, and Australia. But they have a paid course, which is a 21-day diabetes course, and they were testing a new platform. So they basically put a post out there asking for volunteers. And of course, it was like, it's a challenge. And I saw it and I thought, okay, volunteer basically means it's going to be free. And then I asked them if it was okay if anybody else that I knew of could actually join. And so I did have a couple of cousins, and they are still there, and I've been posting to them every time I did a daily review and things. And my other half also volunteered too. And I'll show you something really interesting what he did, because he's been actually quite active too. And he's been on the app. I've been accessing this via the laptop most of the time. So he's been actually doing it on the app. And and apparently I didn't realize that every time I was completing a quiz, he was actually completing a quiz, and we were actually showing up on the leaderboard of this actual challenge. So I'll show you actually what happened in the end, and who actually came out on top. All right. Okay, so let me just, I'm going to do a bit of it's really going to be a quick kind of a recap, because who wants to actually sit here for ages and listen to me talk about what happened each day for 21 days? But let me just see if I can get this screen shared. So that's the organization up there. And I was given this access to this course. Now, so in this course, and if you've done the Healthy Habits Challenge, then you will see familiarity with this and things. So if I just go into that one, and it had all these actual modules of, introduction and welcome leading up to actually the 21 days. And it had a very similar thing with meal plans. And the meal plans were basically keto or low carb, high fat, which have the most success when it comes to people being able to manage, and in some cases actually reverse their diabetes, pre-diabetes or type 2, okay, not the type 1. So it's important to actually read through basically their T's and C's about it, and then the daily lessons. And of course, this is like an example of each day, the kind of quiz, eating a maximum of 3 meals a day with no snacks, eating foods only off the green list being the actual sort of keto or the low carb, high fat recipes and the meal plan guides that they gave, and whether you completed the 10-minute lesson, which is either a video or they had the transcript of the video and just things to actually read through. So that was all fascinating. So I went through that, completed it all. Yesterday was actually day 21. Today was actually, basically the reflection of it all. So it was, hence I thought, well, I'm going to actually finish it off by just doing a live, which is also going to sort of say, hey, I'm still here. I'm still very much active in doing this. So what I did in terms of the challenge, and I'm just thinking about this because I did video recordings of each day And primarily it's because I wanted to also help out my family members that volunteered. One, obviously for Anne out there, Mary Ann, it was difficult for her because she was going in and out of hospital, and she does have other sort of ailments and things. But I did want to make this at least available to them. And I might actually sort of make it available now also to the people in the actual group, not the page, but the actual Eat Healthy Fight Diabetes group, and just post one of these videos out each day, just for your interest's sake, because I don't actually play the whole lesson that was learnt, but I just give my thoughts and a walkthrough of the actual sort of lesson. So then it can be totally up to you to actually, sign up, because it is an available publicly available challenge course that you can pay for and do. But I just might make my actual reflections on the videos available to the actual group. How's that? Okay. All right. So as you can see, it starts off with like, what is diabetes? Why do diets work? Now, sometimes when the videos just get far too long, I try to actually, I break it up. That's why I make it like part 1 and part 2. Now, the only thing about this is that you might hear references to the fact that I'm actually like talking to my cousins to sort of like help guide them along. And also because this is a voluntary testing of this course on their new platform, there were bugs. All right. So there were technical problems that were happening in some of those days. So I do make reference to that along the way. All right. But apart from that, you might just get a good idea of what that course actually covers. And just depending, I might actually, because there are references to their meal plan guides, and I have actually tried some of their recipes, and they're actually not bad. They're quite nice and tasty. I might actually put, just depends, their recipes into the actual group as well. All right, so I might just put this in the guides section, so it's actually available in there. All right, so they're just giving you a heads up of what I'm actually going to be doing into the actual group. Now, I'll just end up. Okay, so you want to see what happened in the leaderboard? Oh, hang on. Oh, no, this was actually the reflections. Yeah, they actually asked for, how I actually thought about the whole 21 days. And these are basically my thoughts. Because I did the Healthy Habits Challenge in August, there were a lot of crossovers between that challenge and this one. So I sort of thought, there should be some kind of recognition if you're offering both courses as a paid program, to basically, if you've done one or the other, vice versa, then maybe it doesn't have to be at the full price. It's just my suggestion. And thanks, okay, on that one. Now, I'll show you the leaderboard. Okay, so I'm going to give you a heads up. I think it was a maximum of 3 points a day if you answered those questions correctly. So 21 days technically should be 63 is the maximum number of points that you can actually get from this challenge. Okay, so I'm going to show you now. And this is where it picked up one of the bugs, because when you log in sometimes, it will actually open up with a quiz. And unless you actually pay real attention, close attention to what that the quiz number of it, you sort of think that that's where you left off, but it's actually a quiz from previously, from an earlier lesson. So you do it, and you actually end up accumulating, another 3 points on that one. So that's definitely a bug in their platform. So. So you're going to see here that there's look at this. I told you 63 is the maximum, right? Well, me, 96. All right. So there were times in those where I was actually doing repetitive quiz, and sometimes it might be because you have to actually sort of complete the videos to the end, watching it and doing the quiz to move on. And when you can't move on because it gives you an error, and you know you've actually done it, you do try to go back and you know go through the steps again so you can, you know, and you end up answering it. So of course it was actually telling up every time you do the quiz. So that's why, because he's my other half, right? Look how many points he's got. But he was actually second or third behind over here until we actually sort of worked out, well, how could that possibly be? So it must be a bug error. And for some reason, he took advantage of this so that he could be first and he could actually beat me. And I did not notice that until I was actually recording. I think it might have been video day 20 when, if you eventually actually sort of see that when you see day 20, because I'm recording live when I log in. And so when I saw that and I was like, what the heck? You know, and then he actually said, because he didn't say anything. And then I said to him, I went, oh, okay, I noticed that you're number one on the leaderboard. And he goes, oh, I was wondering when you would actually see that. So anyway, I said to him, yeah, I saw it. But then I played around, and then I basically said, yeah, but if you log in now, you're not number one. And he just looked at me like this, was like, what? No, just kidding. I'm not going to do that, you know. So, yeah, obviously, I don't know. I think there's the other people that were actually sort of testing the platform as well. So anyway, I just thought I'd actually share that. We thought that was actually quite funny. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, I think I just go to my account and log out. So that's basically just, you know, reflecting back on the 21-day diabetes challenge. Yes, in the group, I will actually post, I'll just schedule one video a day rather than put the whole thing up there, right? That just gets posted out. So they're all pre-recorded videos. Yeah, I might actually put some of the meal plans up there too. Okay, so that is actually it with the challenge. That's all I actually wanted to say. I think coming up though, I'll probably talk a little bit now, probably sharing a little bit more about the actual course. It's quite a heavy course that I'm doing. And probably just a few more meal plans, and maybe just, you know, some things that are actually happening with the exercise side of things in terms of the halfway point that I'm doing with the Takalao half group. And yeah, and just put those ones in. But apart from that, I hope you guys actually enjoyed that. Sorry if it's been sort of like it's taken quite a while for me to actually post again, but I am here. Just like most people are actually quite kind of busy. But no, in terms of like, this is basically it for me. Health is it. And the more you actually sort of look after yourself, the more your body's actually going to look after you the older you get. And things. All right. So I will just end it there, I guess. So catch you later. All right. Bye-bye.